welcome back to the channel of Wortschatz Book Club with me, Etty. Hallo allerseits, willkommen zurück bei dem Kanal von Wortschatz Book Club mit mir, Etty. Today is the last day of the Read Aloud Challenge 2025. Thank you for reading along with us for the last 7 days. Heute ist der letzte Tag von dem Read Aloud Challenge 2025. Vielen Dank, dass ihr die ganze Zeit dabei wart. Ja. Today we're going to read a special book from Australia. Heute werden wir ein ganz besonderes Buch gemeinsam lesen aus Australien. The book is titled The Emu Who Ran Through the Sky by Hellen Milroy. Das Buch heißt The Emu Who Ran Through the Sky, geschrieben und illustriert von Hellen Milroy. The book is published by Magabala books and you can access it through ebooks.com. We have the ability to use this book with the courtesy of the Australian Embassy in Indonesia. Das Buch wurde von Magabala Books veröffentlicht und man kann das durch ebooks.com lesen und wir dürfen das Buch für diese Challenge durch die Unterstützung von der australischen Botschaft in Indonesien. Vielen Dank dafür. Thank you for this opportunity. Because the book is quite long, I only chose a part of it and we're going to see which part did I choose to read today. Da das Buch etwas länger ist, habe ich nur einen Teil davon gewählt oder ausgewählt und lasst uns gemeinsam direkt sehen, welchen Teil habe ich für heute ausgewählt. I'm going to read a book called The Emu Who Ran Through the Sky. This book is written and illustrated by Hellen Milroy and published by Magabala Books. You can access this book through ebooks.com. We get the access of this ebook thanks to the courtesy of the Australian Embassy in Jakarta. Because this is quite a longer book, I will read with you an excerpt of this book, which is the second chapter or the middle part of this book called Learning to Fly. So a quick summary of the chapter before this one. Lofty the emu wanted to join a big race, but he is a little bit slower than everyone else. One day he rescued an eagle who was struck by lightning and they became friends. And now here we are and we're about to read how Lofty learned to fly. Look at this. They're on a cliff somewhere. Oh. As soon as Eagle was better, he took Lofty up to a cliff and demonstrated how to flap his wings. He showed him how to lift off the edge of the cliff with the breeze and soar above the clouds. Of course, Lofty was way too scared to try. He flapped his funny little wings, but they didn't lift him off the ground at all. He wasn't going anywhere near the edge of that cliff. They decided to visit some of the other flying animals. Eagle and Lofty went to see Sugar Glider first. She didn't have wings, but she could fly. Sugar Glider swooped between the trees and used her hands and feet to steer. She showed Lofty all the moves she used to fly and land safely. Although Lofty was grateful for the lessons, he wasn't going to leap between the trees in case he fell and hurt himself. He couldn't even climb a tree in the first place. Look at that. Oh, the Sugar Glider. And Lofty on the ground. Oh, can you guess? Which animal do they visit next? Yeah. Next, they went to Bat. Bat said he could fly faster than most birds, and he used his wings in a different way. He could fly even though he didn't have feathers. Bat showed Lofty how he used his wings in a rowing motion. Lofty tried, but just couldn't get the hang of it. Both Sugar Glider and Bat had small, light bodies, but Lofty had a big body and was very heavy. He'd have to stay on the ground unless he had a flying suit. Oh, that's a good idea. Eagle and Lofty decided they needed extra help, so they went to see the Bush Mob Council. The council told Lofty and Eagle about a harness Platypus had made when they had to rescue Tessa, the Tasmanian devil, one time. But that's another story. Look at that. Who are the members of the council? There's koala, wallaby, kangaroo. Wow. Oh, kookaburra. Platypus was known as the inventor for the bush mop. When he wasn't out exploring, Platypus was at his riverbank making useful things for the bush mob to use. Wow, very creative. Platypus immediately agreed to help them and was excited at the idea of making a flying suit. He thought if he attached the harness to a sturdy frame, he could make some wings to go with it. Platypus drew up a plan and a list of new supplies they would need. He thought about how eagles, bats, and sugar gliders fly, and about how a flying suit might work. He called his invention the feathery paraglider. Wow, it sounds so cool already. Are you excited to see how it looks like? Let's go and continue. Eagle collected the largest feathers, and the others searched for long, light, straight bamboo for the frame. The old harness was already big enough to fit Lofty snugly. The wings had to be flexible so Lofty could swoop and glide on the breeze. The feathery paraglider was ready. First, they got Lofty to lie down with his body and legs out straight, because that's how Bat and Eagle fly. They hooked up the feathery paraglider to Lofty's little wings and gently pushed him off the cliff. But his wings were not strong enough, and the feathery paraglider crashed to the ground. Oh no! Oh, look at that! It looks so good, but unfortunately, it didn't work. What kind of solution do they come up with? Let's go and see. Oh, okay, look at that. That's the paraglider without any passenger. Lofty said to the others, Emus like to stand. I have big, strong legs, even if I can't fly. Maybe I could use the feathery paraglider to run through the sky. Wow! That's a brilliant idea. They all agreed. Platypus fixed the feathery paraglider so Lofty could use his legs to control the wings. They waited until the wind was strong and climbed up onto the smallest cliff. Platypus hooked Lofty into the harness. Look, this is how it looks like now. Wow, they really put the harness on Lofty's strong legs. Do you see that? Lofty was nervous. He'd never jumped off a cliff before. Eagle and Bat said they would fly with him while the others waited on the cliff edge. Lofty took a long run up and launched himself off the cliff. Lofty ran as fast as he could through the sky. The feathery paraglider worked. He soared through the sky on the breeze with eagle, bat, and sugar glider by his side. Everything looked so different from up in the sky. He laughed for joy. He landed safely at the bottom of the cliff, and everyone cheered. Look at that! Lofty is flying. No. Lofty is running through the sky. Ah, he landed safely. Hooray! That's the end of this part. If you're curious how the book continues, you can read the book on ebooks.com. Thank you. Wow, isn't it exciting? Das ist doch trotzdem eine spannende Geschichte, oder? Obwohl wir nicht das gesamte Buch gemeinsam lesen können. Although we cannot read the whole book together, I think even this part is already very exciting, right? About Lofty who believes in his dream to win a race. Ja, das ist über Lofty, die an seine Träume glaubt und er will unbedingt diese Rennen gewinnen. And in this part, we also see how the power of cooperation and power of friendship really work. How different animals in the bush mob come together and help Lofty to achieve his dreams. Und in diesem Teil können wir auch sehen die Stärke von Freundschaft und Zusammenarbeit, wo die ganzen Tiere zusammengekommen sind, um Lofty zu helfen, seine Träume zu verwirklichen. Davon können wir wirklich viel lernen. We can really learn a lot from this friendship and cooperation. And in this sense, I would like to thank all of the volunteers who helped Wordshots Book Club in the last 7 days reading the books aloud. In diesem Sinne würde ich auch gerne bei allen die Freiwilligen mich bedanken, die die ganzen 7 Tage mit Wordshots Book Club Bücher vorgelesen haben. Da gibt es Grace, da gibt es Ella, da gibt es Amalia, Chitra und Ben. I would like to thank especially, of course, Grace, Ella, Amalia, Chitra, and Ben for reading aloud these books with me. And of course, I would like to thank all of you for joining the trip or the adventure with us. And I hope there will be many more books that we can read together. Ich bedanke mich auch an euch alle, die die ganze Zeit dabei wart. Und ich hoffe und ich bin mir sicher, da gibt es noch viel mehr Bücher, die wir gemeinsam lesen werden. Thank you also to Read Aloud You, Ritara, and the Australian Embassy in Indonesia for organizing and making this event happen. It's always a pleasure to join the Read Aloud Challenge. Vielen Dank auch an Read Aloud You, Ritara Foundation und die australische Botschaft in Indonesien für diese Veranstaltung, für die ganze Sponsorship und die Möglichkeit überhaupt die Organisation, dass diese Read Aloud Challenge stattfinden konnte. Das hat mir immer wieder Spaß gemacht mitzumachen. So see you around. Check out our social media and our YouTube channel and see you around with other books. Have fun with reading. Dann bis das nächste Buch. Ja, ich hoffe, liest fleißig weiter und wir sehen uns wir sehen uns wieder in diesem Kanal auf Instagram oder auf YouTube oder überall, wo wir sind. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Bye bye. Thank you. Vielen Dank. Bye bye.